Thompson walks off the floor, perhaps for the final time.
I hate to say this. Kawhi Leonard wants out of San Antonio.
Leonard fires from the corner. And Leonard goes down again.
This is a San Antonio team that is really headed into a full rebuild.
You just saw the San Antonio Spurs. They were knocked out of playoff contention, which ends a streak of 22 straight years of making the playoffs.
I got loyalty inside my DNA. I got loyalty, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I was born with this, it's more like this, immaculate conception. And the was performed like this, without you, a new weapon. I know I meditate, then pump your beat. This that people against the bed. This that I got loyalty, inside my DNA. I got loyalty, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I was born with this, it's more like this, immaculate conception. And the was performed like this, without you, a new weapon. I know I meditate, then pump your beat. This that people against the bed. This that I got.
Oh, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing. What a day. What a day.
Yeah, what a weekend for me.
What a weekend. Yeah,
man, I feel like I've been gone all weekend, which is not a bad thing, but it just felt like I was gone all weekend.
Right.
But it was a good weekend. I have had a lot of fun. Watched basketball. Of course, it's
little controversy today in the Knicks and the Pistons game.
Yes,
we'll get to that. Yeah. We'll get to that for sure.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
Draft. A lot of draft stuff.
Yes. We got a lot to talk about. And we've been all talking in our group, but me and you are going to have different opinions, and I love that. That's what I love about it.
Yep.
Even though we root for the same team, different opinions, and that's what I'm excited about. So we have a great show. I'm excited about this because I don't know what it is with me and Derek, but we are professional golfers now.
Yes, we are.
So we are good at golf, and I'm absolutely not. But Derek is. Derek is a professional. He is applying for the PGA Tour soon.
Yeah. I've got sponsorships lined up like Nike and Callaway, stuff like that. But I think I'm gonna probably just gonna do my own thing. I really don't want to sponsor all that money. I don't need all that money. I'm just gonna kind of wing it, Walmart brand type stuff.
The great value.
Great value. Yeah, I might get the Shaq shoes. I think Shaq's got some shoes for $39.99.
Hey, and he has a Shaq-alicious gummies too. Don't forget those.
The gummy. Yeah, that keeps me hydrated during the long courses.
Put them in a golf bag and just take them.
Yes.
Well, guys, we have a special guest on. We have a. He played collegiately golf. Remind me where he played at. I know you told me.
I think it was southeastern Oklahoma. Let me double check on that. But I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Man, I have found out yesterday, and I know we'll talk about it a little more when we have him on. But I found out truly how hard the game of golf is yesterday. And I've played many of times in the past, but I haven't played in 5 years. And I decided to go play with some people, a couple of friends yesterday. And I realized that, in my opinion, I've played almost every sport. That is the hardest. It's the hardest sport because of your technique. Like, football, you have technique. So you got to be good with your hands, feet, blah, blah, blah. Basketball, form, conditioning, blah, blah, blah. Baseball, it's kind of like baseball with batting in a sense. Like, you got to have good content. So, like, golf's hard, man. I mean, I suck, but golf is hard. I had a rough day yesterday, but I had a lot of fun doing it, just like we do on Fridays, except I was sweating my butt off in the heat, but it was actually a lot of fun. So let's let's run our sponsor for the night, and then let's get Collin in here and talking with him. And I'm excited to have him on and talk some golf with us.
Let's get it.
Comanche Tees is located in Longview, Texas. They are owned by Naomi Simmons. They specialize in making all kinds of custom apparel and hats for any occasion. You can scan the QR code on the screen to go to her Facebook, give her call at 903-985-9120, or even email her at comanchetees24@gmail.com.
Welcome,
What's
Collin.
up,
How's
guys?
it going?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
Oh,
Good, man.
we're
Good, man.
dude. How you been?
Awesome. Just busy, tired, raising kids, and trying to golf when I can, and just.
There you go. When's the
working
last
a
time you
lot.
played?
I actually played yesterday, so we got something to talk about.
Yeah,
we got
where'd you
plenty
play
to
at?
talk about, but I played at Stonebridge Golf Course over in
Louisiana?
Bossier City, Louisiana. Yeah,
Yeah, my boss was just telling me about that course.
It's a really good layout. Really good layout. It's super nice.
Is that where you live around that area?
No, I actually live here in Longview. But one of my best
he lives there.
friends, one of my
Dude,
best friends lives there.
I would love. I'm seriously. The next time, if you ever want to go with someone that's terrible to maybe give some pointers, I would love to go golfing with you sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I love.
Or
I
if
mean,
you,
I
if you
don't.
want to teach somebody that's never played before, that would be fun as well.
Yes,
I can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Special,
Come on,
special
buddy.
guest,
Time to go.
Sonic.
Yeah, I know. Special guest. Hey,
You have
Yeah.
2 on.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
guys.
2 for 1. No, you're
No,
good.
no, you're good, man. Yeah, that'd be, man. I went golfing for the first time yesterday as well. It didn't go as planned. I had some good shots, some good chips. Putting was as expected.
yeah.
I went to the Divine Nine. Since you're from Longview, I know you know where that is. And
Oh,
Had a
yeah.
buddy of
Spent
mine-
a lot of times there.
yeah, I did back in the day, and I probably may have been a little better back then because I used to play a lot more. But yeah, after not playing for 5 years, I thought I did okay. It was a lot of fun though. I had a blast. But man, kind of talk to us about your golf journey, kind of where it started for you, and
Okay.
playing collegiately, and just kind of go.
Yeah,
from
I'll
there.
give you all a little background. Give me just a second. Cohen.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
good.
Yeah. I didn't know he was from Longview. That's cool.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He went to Spring Hill. He went. I don't remember if he graduated with my sister or was here or there with my sister. I don't remember exactly.
That's awesome though.
But yeah, dude, that'd be for sure be cool to go with him golfing and
Dude, me and you and him need to go one time.
yeah,
'cause,
me and
like,
you versus him. Let's see how that goes.
we're losing easily.
Oh, we're getting smoked.
Like, he can give us a -10 to start off with, and we'd still lose.
Oh, for sure, dude. I would catch up with that after the second hole. We would be
I don't know
even
about-
after the hole two.
A -10. I don't know about that.
Oh,
No,
yeah, dude, I'm double
Uh,
bogeying first hole, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I triple
Yeah,
bogeyed
but
every
I-
time except once. Not kidding.
Oh wow. Yeah, golf's hard, man. I mean, people have a hard time believing it, but when they say, "Oh, golf isn't that hard," I can go out there and beat you. I'm like, okay, come on, let's play. I'll show you
Let's
real
do it,
quick
yeah.
how hard it is.
It's hard.
Yeah,
man.
so like Dustin was saying, kind of give us your backstory on kind of first of all,
Yeah.
was it always golf for you, or was there other sports that like then you were just kind of like maybe I'm going to go the golfing route?
I love football. Football is my other favorite sport. I was a huge football, fan, player. I played at I went to school at Spring Hill, and I had some great coaches, and we didn't have the best football team, but we had a lot of fun doing it. And I actually played up, funny, bringing up other sports. I played tight end and cornerback. So I was,
You don't see that very often.
I was big enough to be on the line and block, but I was fast enough to cover secondary. I really wanted to play wide receiver, but the coaches, they said, no, you need to be on the line helping us block. I'm like, okay, I'll do whatever.
Now,
it takes.
when did you
Just find me
graduate from
where
Spring
you
Hill?
want me. 2013.
So, okay, so you're a little bit younger than my sister.
Yep.
Okay,
Well-
okay. I thought y'all were the same age, but you're a little younger.
No, I
Oh,
just
he's a
turned
kid.
30. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man, you're making me feel old. I thought I was.
Yeah.
Shoot, I turned 30 and I feel like I'm an old pawpaw now.
There you go. Wait till you get a little older. You really gonna feel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll give you a little background. I started playing golf when I was about 5 years old. My dad's a huge golfer. My dad's actually the one that got me into it. So I remember, y'all know Oak Forest. Now it's called Crossing Creeks.
Yep.
So that's actually I'm a member there now. But my dad joined out there in the mid '90s, or I think around '96 or '97. He joined out there, and that's where around 2000, 2001, he started taking me out there, and I had a driver, a 7-iron, and like a putter, and I'd put the clubs right behind the seat, and he would tee me up from about 150 yards out, and I'd start just swinging away. So, I started learning at a young age and fell in love with it pretty quick after that, because my dad's had such a huge passion for it, and it's one of those things is, he loves it, and I just ended up falling in love with it too. So, started when I was 5 and been playing ever since. And a little background behind that is when I was 7 years old, I made my first birdie. So that was a pretty big accomplishment.
Nice, for sure.
Right, Oak Forest Crossing Creeks now, but number 7, short par 4. But I remember I hit like a driver from like 200 yards out, hit a little like 8-iron up there to about 15 feet, and made a putt. And me and my
you were
dad
stoked, weren't you? You were stoked. You did the tiger fist pump. I mean, you were in it.
I did a tiger fist pump, and I made that birdie with a Nike ball. It was a Nike Mojo.
Hey, look right there, baby. Look right here. A little Nike on the screen.
Exactly.
I told they want me, man, but I told you, hey, I can't do it. I can't do it right now, Nike.
Hey, the sad part about Nike, they don't make clubs or balls anymore. So.
Oh, this old picture.
Yeah.
Really? They don't make balls or anything anymore?
No, they only do apparel and shoes. Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So kind of fast forward into high school. When did you start getting looked at as far as scholarship wise and stuff like that?
I really didn't start getting looks till my senior year. And and what I mean by that is, I was really good as a junior golfer. From 7th and 8th grade, I played in a lot of junior golf tournaments. The Architects Junior Golf Tour is a popular golf tour here in East Texas that helps kids from 6 years old all the way up to 17 years old, boys and girls. And it starts in June and ends in August. And they do about, I think, like 8 tournaments during that summer. Wow. And it's a good way for kids to develop their game. And I was really good. Fast forward into high school, my freshman year, we had a really good team. So this is kind of a long story, but it was me and one of my best friends, Hagen Wood. He played in the collegiate level too. We both went to college. He played at A&M Commerce for 4 years, and he was a really good golfer. And I actually got him into golf in 6th grade, and then he ended up, I taught him how to play. He ended up learning how to play, and he ended up becoming a pretty solid player. And then from there, we had me and him, and then we had 2 seniors on our team my freshman year, Kyle Aiken and Grayson Williams, both excellent golfers.
Yes, they are. I know their families.
Yeah, they're really good players. One thing about Spring Hill is we've always had a really good golf program, even in the 90s to the 2000s. Like, that's one thing is Spring Hill has developed some really good golfers. I don't know if you know Jason Fiskus, but shout out to Jason. He played at SFA. He played collegiate golf there. He was a really good player. So, but anyway,
who was your coach?
Grayson, Kyle. My first 2 years, it was Beeper Krause, Coach Krause. Y'all know Beeper by chance?
Yeah, I know the name.
He went to Pine Tree, and then he's a big baseball player, and played baseball at Pine Tree, and then he coached there for a little bit, and then came to Spring Hill, coached for a few years, and he's been back at Pine Tree ever since. And now he's I believe he's the athletic director. I'm not 100% positive, but I think he is. So, but fast forward to going back to the freshman year, it was me, Hagen, Noah Ray, who was a freshman. So we had 3 freshmen and 2 seniors in the starting 5 of our golf team. And the way high school golf and collegiate golf works is you have 5 players per team. And what they do is they take the top 4 scores, they kick the fifth score out. So they take the total, combination of those 4 scores, and that is your team score for the day. And typically in high school, on just a regular, like, non-district event, it's just a one-day event, and we always had them on Mondays. So, and then for district, we do 2 days, and then regional would be 2 days, and state was 2 days. So going back to freshman year again, we made it to the regional tournament. It was down at a course in Conroe called, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was a real tricked up golf course. I can't remember the name. Hey, let me pull it up. But this is a really important story to what really started fueling my
you're good.
fire for the game of golf. Golf has taught me many life lessons, and that's one thing. Growing up is it's taught me integrity, respect, honesty. A lot of people that play golf, especially in the high school level, will try to cheat. They'll try to say they had a certain score when they didn't have that score at all. It's
right.
It's one of those sports where it's very humbling. You might think you're up here, and you have one bad day, and you're at the bottom of the bottom. Like, it's just like one day. I mean, there's plenty of times in the past where I shot a great first round and followed it up with a horrible second round. But the course that we played was called Panorama Village in Conroe, Texas. And didn't really care for the golf course. It was really tight. Every hole had out of bounds left and right. And the course wasn't really in the best of shape. But we played there. And that's the weird thing. Spring Hill was in the southeast region back in 2009 and 2010. It was a little strange that year. That year we were in that region with like a lot of the Austin and Houston teams for 3A. But
that's kind of odd.
Because I know it was really strange. It was before 6A. But
I was going to ask, did they still do the districts like if it was football? I mean, like even though it was golf, but I mean, like you didn't play Longview in regionals. You still played, the White Oak and the Tatum. You still played yours.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know how that worked.
Normal district, because they didn't start doing the football district, different from the other sports until like maybe 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
I believe. So it was Gilmer. I know Gilmer, Henderson, Gladewater, Bullard was in our district. Trying to think, White Oak. We had a few, those schools in there, and But it was weird because our freshman year we were in the South region, so we go to Panorama Village. We're in second place after the first round, so we have a great chance to go to state. The second round, I shot 78, I believe, the first round. Which is, like I said, this is a tough golf course, a lot of trouble, very easy to hit it out of bounds or get a penalty shot. So we were, let's see, what hole was it? It was 10, 11. It was number 12. This is number 12 in the final round during regionals to go to state. And 12 is this dog lay right par 5, and not a crazy hard hole. I went for the green in 2. I had like 250 yards in, and I flew the green with my 3-wood. And this is a course that was built through houses, so it's through a residential, neighborhood. A lot of golf courses are built through neighborhoods, oddly enough, or they build the golf course and they start building houses around the golf course. And I hit my ball back and left over the green, and the cart path was over there too. And I was in between 2 out of bounds stakes. There was out of bounds left the cart path, out of bounds right of the cart path, right there my ball was about 2 feet from the other person's backyard. I was in bounds, and I let my playing partners know, hey, I was like, guys, I asked them, is this considered in bounds? Because the out of bounds was way over, across the cart path. Like the cart path was right here, and yet out of bounds here and there, and I was right there, just barely in bounds. Because if I was out of bounds, I'd have to go back to the fairway and hit that shot again. So hit my third shot, made my par, get the round done. I shoot like 70, another 78 that day. We're looking to get second and go to state. And at this time, only the top 2 teams from each region went to state. So 8 teams total played the state championship, which was kind of, silly in my opinion, because a lot of times those third place teams, these regions, are in a tough region, and they don't get the opportunity to go to state because some of these regions are weaker than others. And I'll get to that in a second. But I hit my shot, and apparently I wasn't paying attention, but after we went to the next hole, the player from Rockdale High School put a tee in my divot where I hit the shot from. He marked my spot, and he told his assistant coach, said, "Hey, this kid played a ball from out of bounds." So fast forward it, we sign our scorecards. Everything's official. Looks like we're going to state. Well, the Rockdale coach, the other playing partner, a rules official, and me get in the golf cart, go all the way out there to number 12, and the rules official determined that I played a ball from out of bounds, and it was not out of bounds at all. They didn't when it comes to out of bounds. Typically, you use like a rope to measure where your ball is, but and there was out of bounds here and there. They said that further down, like once you get past a certain part of the cart path, they said that was out of bounds.
So you were too far down the cart path?
Apparently, I was too far down the cart. Per them, from what the rules official said, I was out of bounds. But it was the Rockdale coach that was doing everything in his power to try to get me disqualified, because Rockdale finished in third place, and they were finding every way possible to cheat their way into the state championship. And long story short, I got disqualified. They kicked my score out, and we finished third place. And my head coach was he called the UIL. It was that serious. I mean, this is a huge deal. We have two seniors in that team, Collin Grayson, that wanted to finish off their high school career at state, and they determined, I get disqualified. And in the UIL, in UIL golf, there is a rule. If you don't hit a 9 by the time you hold the putt, the maximum score per hole is a UIL. They call it the UIL 9. So per the USGA and rules at that time, if there wasn't any maximum score in effect, then you were disqualified, because you quote unquote played a ball from out of bounds, and that is illegal by the rules. But if there is a maximum score in play, you are given the maximum score, and they record that after the round. And that would have put me at an 82, taking that UIL 9, and we still would have made it to state that year.
Wow.
That's heartbreaking.
And we argued it. We protested it, but they denied our protest. And it was one of the biggest heartbreaks. Like, starting also as a really promising freshman, that was a heartbreak. Like,
that's a gut punch for sure.
My mom and dad were in tears. That everyone was in tears. It was horrifying. Like, my dad might have said a few choice words to the Rockdale coach that day, because they were literally trying their best to find something. Like, they penalized another kid in my group. I can't remember what school he played for. His divot. So he teed the ball right in between the tee markers, but he teed it like right there to where it was pretty close to being past the tee marker. And if you hit it past the tee marker, it's a 2-shot penalty. And his divot was ahead of the tee marker. And then after the kid hit, he's like, "That's a 2-shot penalty. I'm penalizing you."
The other kid did.
Yeah. The Rockdale kid penalized this other guy because he told him that you hit in front of the tee marker. And in golf, your ball's right here. Your divot, when you make impact in that ball, your divot's always going to be in front of the tee marker. Well, they called a coach over, and they determined that the kid hit in front of the tee, and they assessed him a 2-stroke penalty. So that's how petty. That's how petty Rockdale is. To this day, I cannot stand Rockdale.
He said he hates Rockdale ISD.
Yeah. So I wanted to give you a little heartbreak moment.
That's
golf,
for sure.
In golf, you get heartbreaks, and that was one of the biggest heartbreaks of my golfing career, because I was sick to my stomach, because I costed, to me, I feel like I costed my two seniors who I was really close with the chance to go to state, which I knew it wasn't my fault, but I felt like I should have called a rules official before I hit that shot.
Just checked yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So your senior year is rolling around, and you're kind of gaining steam on the recruiting side of it, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
How many offers did you end up with?
I ended up just really 2 offers. I had an offer to walk on at Tyler Junior College without a scholarship, and then I had an offer to go to Paris Junior College So I actually played 2 years at junior college before I went to the university.
Oh, okay. Did
So-
you go to Paris?
Yeah, I played 2 years at Paris Junior College.
Oh,
and
okay.
then I had a full scholarship to Paris Junior College, and then I transferred to Southeastern Oklahoma State after 2 years of solid play at Paris. So
What's the biggest difference between high school, junior college, and the university?
I'll tell you this right now: high school golf, you have a select few that are really, really good. But I'll tell you this: high school golf does not get you recognized. Just like baseball or basketball, travel ball is what really gets you on the radar for getting heavily recruited. So I played the TJGT, which is Texas Junior Golf Tour. This was tournaments outside of junior or out of high school golf. And I played on the Legends Junior Tour, which is run by the Texas Golf Association, another junior tour. So me and my dad traveled every weekend for those 4 years. The goal was to play college golf, and I played well, but I went through a slump my sophomore year. I started growing. My swing was really off. Went through a slump. Junior year, I started playing better. I had a few decent finishes in those tournaments. And then senior year, I had some really good finishes. And then plus, I was playing lights out. Got second in district, and then got second in the regional tournament in a playoff. And then we went to state my senior year. And then after that, I was offered a full ride to Paris. So
now, is it strictly team? It's not no individual golf.
No, it's individual too. So
okay.
High school and college they do it individual. So the overall lowest score, they do first, second, third place medals.
I got you, and then everything grouped together as a team.
And then team first, second, third. They recognize.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it making it to state your senior year due to what happened the freshman year? I know it's obviously a little different because you felt like it was your fault due to what happened, even though, your story is saying that it wasn't out of bounds. But how was it being able to go to state your senior year and being able to compete for that?
It was like Rory at the Masters. It was a weight lifted off my shoulders because my sophomore and junior year, they moved us to the Northeast region, and it was a much tougher region. We were playing with all the DFW teams, Argyle and Prosper. And at that time, those two had elite golf programs. They finished first and second state in 2011 and 2012. These two were powerhouses, and we came in third both times at regionals sophomore junior year. And then senior year, the UIL announced that the top 3 finishers from each region go to state. So they upped it from 8 to 12 teams. And I told my guys, like, hey, if we keep doing what we're doing, I want to win regionals, but at the very minimum, we got a chance to make state. So sure enough, we got third as a team, and I got second as an individual medalist, shooting 75, 72. So that's a big difference. Is I was shooting 78, 80, high 70s, low 80s freshman year, to shooting pretty much around par my senior year of high school. And then at state my senior year, we got 8th place, and I think me and Hagenwood finished top 15. I believe. I'd have to go back. It's been so long ago, but I was in 2013. I was on the first team All State. So I was after my second place finish at regionals, on top of my really solid senior year of individual tournaments, I was recognized as first team All State, and that's what helped me get a college offer.
Recognition,
yes. Yeah. So, and then I played. Oh, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna ask you what's your favorite course. Has been or is, or it could be the PGA course or one you've played on. It doesn't matter.
My favorite course is obviously Augusta National, but the best golf course I've ever played was Quintero Golf Club in Phoenix, Arizona. One of the nicest golf courses I've ever played. It's outside of Phoenix, about 45 minutes up in some mountains, and it's just beautiful. It's real quiet. Excellent conditions, just everything's green, well manicured, just absolutely perfect. And you're hitting some of these par 3s, you're hitting from like 800 or 1,000 foot, drop offs to the green. I mean, it had the most beautiful par 3s, and then I'm hitting the air's thinner up there because you're at a higher elevation. I'm hitting 7-iron from 210 yards, 220 yards. I mean, the ball just goes like 33% further.
Wow. So, yeah, my boss just got back from Las Vegas. And he was at a convention, and he got to play at the TPC Summerlin.
Summerlin. Yep, they have a PGA Tour as a tournament there in the fall.
He got to play. He said it's like $300 just to play.
Oh yeah,
and it's all covered. He's played at Torrey Pines doing the convention.
Oh, wow.
Whatever's in South Carolina, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head.
Hilton Head.
Yes.
Yep.
He's played at all those, and they're all free, all by the people putting on the convention. He's a big golfer. So I thought that was pretty neat. So that's why I wanted to ask you. Like you said, of course, Augusta is going to be the cream of the crop. You know.
Yeah.
There's a place. He was telling me there's a place in Houston. I think it's Houston.
Blue Jack National. Tiger Woods designed it.
No, well, is it the one that's got 18 different holes?
Oh no, that's Tour 18. They have one in Houston.
Tour 18, yes.
Yeah,
it's got a whole design for a bunch of different. Like hole 1 could be Augusta, hole 2 could be Torrey Pines. I mean, correct, I was like, that is awesome. Like that is awesome. He was telling me about that Friday. Matter of fact,
I actually haven't even played any of those courses, but yeah, they have one in Dallas and Houston, and they are mimicked after the most famous golf holes in the entire world. And,
so there is one in Dallas.
Yeah, and they have an Amen corner that's copied after number 11, 12, and 13 at Augusta. So you get
at Augusta,
the tough par 4. You get to play number 12, the wide and narrow green with water in front, and then play 13, the dogleg left par 5. It's pretty cool. I've never got the chance to play those two, but I heard it's a pretty fun experience.
That would be fun, for sure. Did speaking of the Masters in Augusta, were you good with Rory?
Rory's been my favorite player since he's got on tour.
There you go.
I'm a huge Rory fan, and to see him complete the Grand Slam, I was in tears. I was tickled.
Yeah,
I was just.
He almost botched it though.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh! Sunday, man, it was an up and down emotional roller coaster trying to get him. I was like, he's going to choke this thing away. I really thought he was going to.
So fun. When we played Friday night, I was -5 through 2 holes. I was rolling. I was rolling.
That's
and
awesome.
then we got to the 18th, and one of the guys on our other show, I want to say he birdied, I think, and got to -1, and I was at -2, and I was like, oh crap, dude, I can't screw this up, and I hit my second shot was a little long, but I ended up birdieing, and I ended up winning by 1 stroke. I was like, oh, don't go to a playoff, don't go to a playoff, don't go. Felt like Rory.
Felt like Rory.
Yeah,
Rory had a putt to win, par to win a regulation. It's still, had to fight off a steaming hot Justin Rose, which I have huge respect for Justin Rose.
Rose, yes, dude, he was a really good. And DeChambeau,
yep,
man,
I enjoy him.
My boss was big fan of his, and that's who he picked to win it all. And I think he was up like third, fourth at once.
Fourth, yeah.
And he kind of tailed off, and Rory just kind of took it away.
Yeah, DeChambeau had a horrible Sunday, but no, him and Rory were in the final group, and DeChambeau was in second. DeChambeau at one point was tied with Rory for the lead.
Yes, so. And one just kind of tailed off, and one kind of surged, and but I'm telling you, it's funny because of course me and Dustin are big basketball guys. That's our favorite. That's our favorite sport. But now. Awesome. Football, we love football as well. I mean, like it's ever since the Masters, and I kid you not, ever since the Masters, we have been the biggest golf people. And like I was telling you off the live, we literally got PGA 25 and have been like playing it, designing our own courses. I mean, it's awesome. Like it's awesome. I enjoy playing it. I'm doing my career, my players working through the PGA. Yeah. I'm in the Pro-Am right now. It's awesome. So fun, but it's not like it's relaxing. Like I mean,
it is.
And I can only imagine what actual golf is really like. Like I said, I've never played. I know going to putt-putt, I want to sling the putter a couple times. But I mean, and I didn't know this, that they actually had like national world championship putt golf.
Oh yeah, they do, absolutely.
I had no idea until I started playing golf and looking at golf videos, and then you hear the 18 holes, they're 19. I'm like, how you're getting holding ones every time on putt golf? I'd be ticked if I was playing against somebody like that.
Oh, I know, because like you stand no chance. Exactly.
Yeah, you don't stand no chance.
I got a question for you, Collin. What What makes the game of golf harder than what people expect it to be?
Because you have four parts of the game. It's not just one. It's not just people get so tied up in it just focusing on the golf swing. And granted, it's so important, but you have four aspects. Only about four parts of the game. You have driving, you have iron play, you have wedge play, and you have putting. And people don't realize, oh, I can learn golf, and all if I learn the golf swing, I'm good. No, no, no. What separates, someone like a scratch golfer like myself versus the best players in the world, I'm in the top 1% of golfers that play. There's about 350 million people that play golf. And
Wow.
I know, like they say, if you're like within like a 5 handicap or less, you're like in the top 1%. But anyways, what separates even the best amateur golfers is chipping and putting. And the pros are so dialed in when it comes to chipping and putting. If they hit a bad iron shot and miss the green, they're going to get up and down just about 9 times out of 10. That's how good they are, even from a bunker. A lot of times, like, I'd rather be in a bunker than miss the green and be in some, 6-inch, 7-inch thick rough, because you can actually put control on the golf ball and spin it and have, better odds of getting up and down. And that's the thing is, what makes golf so hard is, the swing's already hard enough as it is, but chipping and there's techniques that you want to teach it. There's definitely, you can teach it, but a lot of it is on you developing how far to hit it. How, where am I going to land it on the green? Which way the green's breaking? Is it downhill? Is it uphill? There's so many factors that go into, chipping and putting, because once you're around the green, it's more than just hitting the ball on the green. You're trying to get that thing as close to the hole so you can get that up and down. I always envision the hole as a 3-foot circle. If I can get it within 3 feet, my chances of getting a par is pretty solid. But
what would you say your strength is?
Putting and driving. I've always
Putting
been
and driving.
Right now, but my putter's always been one of the best parts of my golf game. I strive into being the best putter, because if you have a good putter, it's like having an eraser on your scorecard. It will take strokes off your score, even if you're hitting the ball poor that day. If you can make some putts.
Now, how would you recommend somebody practicing? I mean, like, say if I want to go practice basketball, I have a basketball goal outside, I can go shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, golf is a little different. You can't go out there and just tee off one out into the woods, because now you're going to find it. I mean, you literally have to go to a driving range or to a course to get that work in. You do.
Correct. Yep. I mean, unless you have, a bunch of acreage and you have an open, piece of land where you can just hit balls into.
Right.
When I used to live in Gilmer, about 2 years ago, I lived on about 3 acres, and I had an open field in front of me, and I'd hit balls out the field, and I'd get a little shag bag, which would hold about 100 golf balls. I'd walk out there and go pick up my own golf balls, go back to my little hitting area and start practicing. But other than that, you got to pretty much go to a driving range or a facility that has practices. So
that's why I personally have always loved the Divine Nine, because it is a par 3, all of them,
and it's lighted.
But I feel like
it's lighted too.
Yeah, it is, and you really get that. You kind of get every aspect of not much driving. There's not really any driving out there. Now, for me, there's one that I have to drive because, for one, I suck as it is. So, like, I'm just trying to get it over. There's one where there's a water right in the middle. You have to shoot over the water. That's the only one I would even attempt. That's because I'm not good with.
Yeah.
I'm decent, like, where I feel like my strong suit now when it comes to like playing out there is, like, I like using my pitching wedge, because I feel like I can hit the best with it. Now, it's not ideal.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
I feel like, for me, since I'm trying to get back into it, I feel like teeing off is my weakest thing. I have a problem teeing off.
Yeah.
I tend to get on top of the ball, and I don't know what that is. But a buddy of mine told me that I played the other day. He said, dude, just go in your backyard and just work on your swinging. Don't even use a ball. Just like literally just imagine a ball being there and just practicing your swing, because I don't think I have the technique down. I'm wanting to hit it like a baseball. I'm trying to hit it as hard as I can to give it power to make it where I want it. And he was telling me it's not all about the power, it's about the contact.
It's
about the contact.
Like, you don't, and that's why I have a hard time. I've been working on my stepson. His favorite sport's basketball. He's a really good basketball player. He's 6'4", and and he's got a love for the game of golf now, and he's we've been playing for a few years now, and he wants to hit it as hard as he can. I was like, dude, you can hit it at 60% power or 70% power. The most important thing is hitting it in the middle of that face, because if you have a little bit of speed met with the middle of the club, that ball is going to launch high and go forever. Like, you don't have to swing hard to make the ball go far.
Right.
And people have the biggest misconception is, oh, I got to hit this far to get it to go where I want it to go. No. And what I tell amateurs all the time, or people learning how to play, is you take more club, say, oh, I can get an 8-iron there. The most common thing I see amateurs do is they leave the ball short of the green. They don't hit enough club, and then they try to hit it too hard, and they make poor contact on the golf club, and they end up hitting a bad shot. The most important thing is to have good, steady tempo and to keep your swing on plane, because when we start swinging real fast, a lot of things can start moving around and going
right.
The wrong direction. So if you keep
something for me that I'm struggling with is I have to find golf clubs because I'm a lefty.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's weird is I throw right, I right, I shoot right, everything. But when I was younger, I played baseball. I was a right-handed batter.
Yeah.
I got hit. I told my dad I didn't like that. He said, well, try the other side. So I switched over to the left side. So I hit baseballs left-handed, and my golf swing would be a left-handed golf swing. So it's hard to find. I can't go play with Dustin because he's a righty. So you got to find a club before you can even go. That's what stinks.
Well, funny you said that. My dad's left-handed.
Really?
Yeah, my dad's left-handed. My mom's left-handed. My mom doesn't play golf, but both my parents are left-handed. And then I know a lot of left-handers out there. There's actually a lot of decent left-handed or really good left-handed golfers out there. It's and that's one thing. Cool story. My dad started playing golf when he was 13. My dad was a big baseball player, and my dad's not a big guy. He was 5'8" and maybe $130, $140, $150, around there in 8th grade. And he couldn't play football because he wasn't big enough. But he was pretty good at baseball. And a few of his friends took him out golfing one day over in Big Spring. It's called Buffalo Ranch Golf Club in Big Spring, Texas, out in West Texas. And he was very lucky that they had a left-handed set of clubs to rent. That's the problem back in like the 70s and 60s is every manufacturer back then made everything right-handed, and they made a select few clubs left-handed.
Yeah.
Just because there's not as many left-handed players out there. My dad had the hardest time finding golf clubs that would actually fit him for what he needed. And then one thing too, he would tell me, even if you found a matching set, like Ping was a really good brand about making left-handed golf clubs back then. And even then, he said, like the irons, like you'd look down at it and you put it to a mirror of a right-handed club, it wouldn't be shaped or it wouldn't have the same loss or lie angle as a right-handed club. And a lot of times, even the manufacturer had a hard time getting it same specifications as the right-handed club.
I called the Divine Nine last week, and I talked to, I forgot the guy's name, but I talked to him. I was like, a question. I said, do y'all rent clubs? He's like, oh yeah, we can rent clubs. I said, okay, next question. I said, I'm left-handed. He said, well, I'm sure we can throw you something together left-handed. I was like, oh, okay. I said, I never played before. Yeah. I said, so, I mean, it could be the best of the best or the junkie of the junkie, but I'm probably going to shoot the same with either one. I said, but I just don't want to go buy. I don't want to go buy some clubs and then come to find out I hate golf. And you know what I mean? So I was like, maybe I can just rent some. He's like, yeah, just come see me when you get here, and we'll. I think I see a driver over there that's left hand, so we can throw the rest of them together here and there. I was like, okay, so.
That's a little disappointing. And that's a little disappointing because, I'm sure this has to do with money, but the Divine Nine, Alpine Target Center used to have quite a bit of clubs that you could demo right and left-handed, and they used to have quite a bit. They used to have quite a bit of variety.
I think the Samson's still on that.
No, it's not the Samsons. It's they own the actual big course across the street.
Oh, the Samsons do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but what's his name? Mike Williams is the owner of Alpine, and then Roy Pace. He was co-owners with Mike there for a long time, and Mike took it over. I think during COVID. But Roy's 86 and he still gives lessons out there. He's been giving lessons for like 50 years now.
I might have to go talk to him.
And Roy and Mike gives lessons too. They've been in the game of golf for a long time. Great guys, great people. They can get you started in the right direction and help you out. And Roy actually played on the PGA Tour against Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, and those guys.
Wow.
Yeah, Roy Pace is a PGA Tour player. Yep. People don't realize that. East Texas boy.
So I will tell you this.
PGA Tour in the 60s and 70s.
One of my favorite sports clips of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Jack Nicklaus, who the guy was like, I mean, I can shoot that. That's like, I don't know how to make it. And he said, you mean come make that putt? And he walks over there and just tosses the ball down. It's like a 60-footer.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like, bam. And it goes right in.
It was like 80, 90 feet, and it was over this huge slope. I don't know if you remember how much slope. Like it broke like 20 feet to the right. Yeah,
and I mean, it wasn't 30 seconds. He threw the ball down, lined it up, and was like, boom. And there it went. The dude was like, you can't shoot that. You can't make it. It's like, watch this. You know,
that clip's awesome. That's GOAT status right there.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Well, Collin, man, we for one, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you getting back to me. Love to go play with you sometime.
Yes.
I mean,
I was just going to say, I would love to
maybe
learn a little bit.
Yeah, learn a little bit.
Absolutely. I can help you guys out. I used to teach a lot in college, and I still give lessons on the side. So I'm more than happy to help out.
If you'll send me your number in the message, and I'll keep in touch with you, and maybe we can set something up. But kind of before you go, you said you were a football guy.
Yep.
Cowboy fan.
Cowboys all the way. Cowboys and Texas Longhorns. Those are
how did the Cowboys do in the draft? What do you think?
I haven't kept up enough with it just because I'm so pissed at Jerry and just how horrible this organization's ran. But
thank you.
I'm just so fed up with the Cowboys in general that I just don't really care much anymore because I've let it affect my well-being too much. And it's not worth my
5 months out of the year, we're just angry.
Yeah. I love our players, and I actually do like Schottenheimer as the coach. I was very questionable at first, but I think he's going to build a good culture there. But looking at what we got, we needed O-line because Zach Martin retired. I was very happy with the first round pick. People were criticizing when you receiver. I was like, I don't care. We can't do nothing if Dak doesn't have protection, or we can't run the ball. It all starts.
Collin, you're a smart guy, man. You are very smart. I need you to understand that. Like that is exactly the way I think too, brother. That is, dude. I'm telling you right now. Outside of the last 2 picks, I love the draft. I loved it.
I think the Cowboys have always drafted well. Like that's the thing. People don't realize they get like, oh, we keep drafting O-line in the first round. I was like, well, yeah, our veterans are retiring. You can't win football games. You don't have an O-line.
That's it. Yeah, I completely agree. But man, like I said, we appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you talking.
Thank you. Thank you guys for inviting me on. So
absolutely, dude.
Sorry if I talked too long about that story. I just want
that's what it's about. I mean, we enjoy bringing people on, listening to their stories. Because it's not the same as everybody else's. I mean, we've had a bunch of football guys on here. We've had some softball people, and this football guy's story is completely different from this other one's, and that's why we enjoy doing this. Because everybody comes from different background, and so man, just shoot me your number, and we'll get in touch with you, and we'll definitely take you up on some golfing lessons.
Absolutely. Yep. I got plenty of golf stories to tell you guys. I got tons of golf stories. So
I'm with it.
Y'all got just a small glimpse of my knowledge and just everything I've been through in golf. So
good, dude.
I'd really would love to play with you. I think I would have a lot of fun. Whether I did well, I will do bad. There was no good that's going to come about it. But I just want to learn a little bit because I feel like once I get to a certain point where I'm doing, even if I'm just a bogey every time, I'd be winning in my book. So
absolutely,
I'd love to learn. I'd love to learn.
And a big thing about golf, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, Dustin. And
I learned that yesterday.
You can't expect quick results. It takes time. It takes dedication, and it's going to be rough before it gets good. But once it gets good, you're going to keep. It's like a drug. You hit that one par, you make a really good shot. That was one. There's always one shot around where it keeps you circling back to where you want more. And that's the thing about golf. Once you start hitting good shots, you're going to be hooked for the rest of your life. It's a game you can play till you're 80, 90 years old.
That's exactly what my boss told me Friday. He said,
Yeah.
you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And he said, as soon as you start hating it, you'll hit a hole in one. You'll be like, I'm back in. I'm back at it. He said, like, I'm here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he
that's
said
golf for you.
he said he remembered his. He said he'd been playing. I don't know. He's been playing for like 20 years, something like that. He said around year 2 or 3, it's like he was just struggling. Like it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
He just hated going out there for 18 holes and doing this. And he said it was a par 4. I think it was par 4, and he birdied it. He said, "Dude, I launched it off the tee." He said, "I launched it," and he ended up birdieing it. And he said, "I was back," and he said that was 20 years ago. He said, "I enjoy playing. I enjoy going," and so, but yeah, man. Like I said, shoot me your number, and we appreciate you so much coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on, and y'all have a good rest of the show.
Yes, sir.
You too, man. Thank you.
All right, see ya.
That's cool.
Yes, I know, dude. Like, oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, I'm ready to go play with it. Like I said,
ready to
I
get
gotta
out
find
there.
some clothes. I gotta find some clothes first. I'm no good.
I'm not kidding you, dude. One time, I'm not kidding you. The very first time I ever went golfing, the Divine Nine. It was my wife's.
What's up, Jay?
My wife's sister's friend, and they invited me to go, and I was like, whoa, I don't have clubs, I don't have nothing. They're like, no, you can use mine. We can use them. I said, okay. We went out there and played. It was all done. The guy, he said, hey, do you want my clubs? I said, are you serious? He's like, yeah, you can have them. I have some more. He literally gave me, and I have the same clubs I've had since that day. They were given to me, the bag and all. Everything was given to me. So ever since then, I've had them. I'll tell you, man, we used to go out there and play Divine Nine for hours. I mean, even yesterday, we played we did it 2 rounds. So we did 18 holes, did everything twice. And it was fun, man. It was a blast. And the only thing that kind of sucked when we got out there was that, well, for one, they didn't have golf carts, so you got to walk. But it was cool. They had these things that hold your bag, and you get to push it around. It's called a push cart. So you don't have to hold everything. So again, man, it was $14 for as many time you could play there for 8. You could play there for 12 hours if you want. Just keep going. It don't matter. So that was pretty cool. But I mean, it was a lot of fun, man. It'd be really something, man. We have to get with Con, plan that out, and he can come out there with us and hit. And another thing, my nephew, we were just talking about today. They invited me to go do a scramble with them. It was me and my brother-in-law versus him and his friend. And I couldn't go because it would have cut into the podcast time. But I was like, dude, I told him, hey, I'll come get you one Saturday and go, because he plays for Hallsville. He plays golf for them.
Oh, okay.
He's asked me to play before. And I was like, dude, that suck. But we were swinging in the backyard, hitting some balls, and I hit a pretty good ball. He had some. He just bought a random. Dude, I tell you somewhere to go look, Derek, and I'm serious. Pawn shops. He literally bought a club for 99 cents. Not kidding you. He just bought it. He's like, it was there. I just bought it. I don't even know what it is. I just bought it. But also, I'll tell you this too, Derek. I was talking with Chase. He has an extra set of clubs that are left-handed.
Really?
He just bought a whole new set not that long ago. Dude, they were out there, dude. Let me tell you how they were yesterday. This was before we get into the other stuff. Him and another buddy of ours. Again, I didn't know he was coming until we got there. His name is JT. They used to go play golf all the time. They hadn't played in a while. Dude, they had range finders out there. They zoom in to see how far it really is. It tells you how many yards and stuff. It was pretty cool. They were competing. I was just there. I told them I'm not here to compete because I'm not gonna be able to compete with them, dude. First round was kind of rough. The second round, man, they shoot some beautiful shots, man. Chase from when we started playing back in the day till now, that dude they both kind of impressed me. It was kind of cool seeing people that weren't doing what I was doing, because I feel like I was playing soccer yesterday. Every shot I had, it was just rolling on the ground. But one of mine, it did make it to the green, but it took me 1,000 putts to get it in there. So, but man, let's get into this draft, man. Tell me your thoughts on it. Let's talk Cowboys. We'll talk Cowboys, and then we'll talk about maybe other teams that you thought did really well.
All right, I've got 3 teams. I know we're going to start Cowboys first, but I got 3 teams that did amazing. Really one head scratcher, and then 3 teams that are just stupid. Start with the Cowboys. And I've told you this, I love all but the last 2 picks. The last 2 picks were head scratchers to me. I wasn't really sure, kind of where they were going, what they were doing. But I got to looking. So the defensive end that we got from Boston College, he was the 28th overall prospect, and we got him at 12 in the second round. Okay? He led the nation in quarterback pressures with 56. Okay? So he's getting to the quarterback, right? You put that on the opposite side of Micah, and now you've got 2 people collapsing the pocket, not giving them time to throw the ball. Okay? Just like Collin just said, taking Booker in the first round keeps Dak upright.
Yep.
Okay? And not only that, he is a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker. So he can open those lanes up. He can get to that next level. And we've got running backs now, right? We drafted Blue out of Texas. Great top end speed. What's up, Aaron? Great top end speed. Tough between the tackles. Like I said, I think they're just biding time because all of our running backs are on a 1-year deal except for the rookie. And then you've got Breece Hall from the Jets that's going to be a free agent next year. You've got Kenneth Walker Jr. from Seattle that's going to be an free agent next year. So those are some good backs that we could possibly look into getting. The steal of the draft is Revel. He was the 31st overall prospect in the draft, and we get him in the 3rd round. He is 6'2", 210 as a cornerback. Put him and Diggs together. Slide, is it Lewis into the slot?
To my Bland?
Or Bland, yeah. Slide Bland into our slot. Secondary is looking good. Now you've got Micah and Izuruku. I think that's how you say it. Putting pressure on the quarterback. On the back end, you've got guys that can lock it down now. I love it. I love what we did. And then we also drafted the right tackle out of Oregon. We got him in the 5th?
The 6th.
The 6th. He had a 5th round grade on him. He was the 140th prospect in the draft, and we get him. So we got value at every position. And then we got the number 2 wide receiver from Oregon. We signed him as an undrafted free agent. The dude is a freaking superstar. He is fast. He is long. He is quick out of breaks. That's our number 2 receiver that we got as an undrafted free agent. I know we're different on this Dallas tape. And I know no pick was sexy. And I think that's where Dallas, because we were so bad last year, but we don't remember, we didn't have a line. Dak wasn't playing. We had no running game. We had no, and we've hit all of this stuff. Like, we couldn't get to the quarterback. That's why these teams were throwing for 500-600 yards on us, because we couldn't get pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, the more I've looked at, obviously the Booker pick was phenomenal. The more I looked at it, I love the edge pick. I think that's great. Now again, I had to let it develop at the time. I was like, this is dumb. Why are we not selecting a running back? Why are we not selecting a true number 2, potentially a 1A, 1B type player?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. We're getting better defensively. Then we go to the cornerback. I was upset at first. Like, why? What are we doing? Like, yes, we need to be good defensively, but we literally have no weapons on offense. Like, we're going to build the line. I knew the line thing would happen. I was like, but Dak literally has nobody to throw to. I was like, okay, but hold on. I looked more into that. Great pick. Like, yes, we have Bland. Yes, we have Diggs, but we need to be able to lock these people, the receivers, down or slow them down to be able to get the pressure. So here we are. Great. The blue pick, obviously Texas guy. I love him. I just wished we would have went bigger. But hear me out. That's not always been Dallas's thing, is bigger. Like, since since Ezekiel Elliott was good, he was the last big back we really had. Like we had Dowdle, we had Pollard. So like it can work, right? It can work. It's doable. I love him. Again, we needed somebody that we could depend on because what we have now, I don't think we can depend on due to their injury. They're injury prone. Respectfully, I think they can't. Like you said, they can be good when they're healthy, but how healthy are we going to get them? So I love the pick. The linebacker out of Florida, not really sure about. Could we use a linebacker? Of course we could, because again, we get injured a lot at the linebacker position.
Yeah.
So not a bad pick, right? Offensive tackle, needed it. Perfect. Here's where I start to get where I'm really confused. I'm not sure why we drafted another defensive tackle. I thought we had depth even last year at defensive tackle. I thought, again, maybe we weren't getting the pressure, but we have the depth. This defensive tackle, he may not even make the team. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I question that pick. Phil Mafia, great running back for Clemson. Could he be a steal? Heck yeah, he could be a steal. But I right there would have drafted a wide receiver. I would have gotten Nick Nash right there. That's where because he didn't get drafted. Or I would have got Isaiah Bond, a quicker kind of Cole Beasley player, or Tez Johnson from Oregon, like one of those guys. Like Chase, we're going to talk about other teams in a minute, but we are definitely going to talk about the Falcons because I thought they did really good. And then
I'm just going to hook you up, Chase.
And then again, we drafted another defensive tackle with our last pick. I'm just not. We went more defensive than I thought we would have went. I'm not against it. I just wish we would have gotten. And we don't know what we're going to get. Like, we don't know if these undrafted free agents. I like the second receiver out of Oregon. I love him. We're going to see. I'm not upset about the draft. I just maybe because they weren't sexy picks. I was expecting sexier picks from them.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is for me. But I'm not mad about the draft. I feel like we got almost all we need. I did not think we got was a wide receiver need, but I'm hoping these undrafted people we have signed work out for us to where, like, hey, these were great. Maybe we didn't draft them, but hey, they're panning out for us. Yeah, maybe that guy from Oregon can be our number 2.
Yeah.
I always like the quick guys too. We need somebody like we have Turpin, but he's not really. I mean, he's a receiver, but he's really our punt
he's
returner,
a returner. He's a return. He's Devin Hester. Yeah, he can play receiver, but that's not what he's good at. Let him return kicks. So I still think we're looking in the free agent market. I mean, Cooper's still out there. I really think that's a reunion that's possibly going to happen. I think Coop liked being in Dallas. So I do think that's possibly a reunion in the making.
But I mean, offensive line got better. We drafted running backs, so I think
defensive line got better, secondary got better. So all in all, I think it was a good draft. I would give them an A- because, like you said, we didn't get a receiver that was a need. We kind of whiffed on the last 2 picks. But I'm going to tell you who
I think Phil Mafia might actually be a steal when it's all said and done.
I don't know.
Depending if he makes the team and if he gets playing time.
Yeah.
They could really use like Blue Mafia and then say the guy we just picked up. But I don't know. There's plenty of running backs to come through now. We can't say we don't have a running back because we actually have 4 good running backs now, or 2 we know if healthy, and then 2 rookies coming in. Let's see what they do with it.
For me, and I'm going to transition to just going to start at the top and work my way down. Atlanta knocks, and I'm glad you're in here, Chase. Atlanta knocked it out of the park. Atlanta got
A+ for me.
Exactly what they got from me. They got a top 3 linebacker, a top 3 defensive end, the number 1 safety on the board. They go out and get Nick Nash. They go out and get what I thought was the 4th best cornerback in the entire draft in Kobe out of Kansas. He led the Big 12 in interceptions last year. That was the one that anytime anybody brought up Travis Hunter during football season and how great he was at defender and how great he was, I always went to Kobe Bryant. Always, because he was better statistically than Hunter was at every statistic. So I think Atlanta knocked this out of the park. I think they're really going to double down on their defense this year, and they're going to say, "Hey, Michael Penix, you don't need to score 40 a game. You need to go out there and score 22 or 24. I mean, and we'll take care of it defensively." They've got Bijan Robinson, they've got Pitts, they've got Nick Nash now, they've got Drake London. They have got pieces offensively to where Michael Penix can just manage a game. He needs to manage the game much like Kerry Collins did in 2000 with the Baltimore Ravens. He doesn't need to be a superstar. The superstar is going to be on the defensive side of the ball. So I
Not
think
only that, I thought they got a steal with Hayden Conner out of Texas, that guard.
Oh, yes.
I thought that was a steal for them at that. Or no, not excuse me. I'm looking at Arizona. My bad. I mean the offensive tackle from Wisconsin. I thought that was a steal for them because they went so much defense and they still relied on that. Their offensive line isn't bad, but again, you have to protect Penix's blind side. You have to for him to be able to not only manage the game but be comfortable to not have to worry about that blind side. That's every team.
Yeah.
You need that blind side tackle. That should be your strongest offensive lineman, in my opinion. In
Agree. I think that's what
the blind side.
That's what New England did. They got the best left tackle. People talked about his short arms and all this and that. The dude gave up 8 sacks in 4 years. I mean, So a couple of other ones that I was going to hit on. Houston. So Chase, as far as you go, A+ for Atlanta. I am so looking forward to watching them. Houston did mediocre. Really, all that they did, to me, they got both the Iowa State wide receivers in the first, and they got one in the third. That lets me know they're putting the ball in C.J. Stroud's hand this year. And with the room, they lost Diggs. Tank Dell got hurt the last 2 years. Nico Collins is really Nico Collins is a star. Let's just be honest. And both of the wide receivers that they got remind me of Nico Collins. So, like, they have 3 Nico Collins out there now. I look for C.J. Stroud to absolutely light it up this year. So I love the picks for them. But other than that, I don't really know if they got better. And if they did, I don't see it. I'll just be honest. I don't see where they got better. And then Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh got the steal of the draft with Caleb Johnson in the 3rd round. That is a Pittsburgh back through and through. I think that I'm not going to say they lucked out, but they played the draft so well and got exactly what they needed. So kudos to them. Now for my 3, I don't know. So Cleveland starts off amazing. Okay, they make the trade. They secure 2 top 5 picks next year because they're going to be bad. Jacksonville's going to be bad. They secure 2 top 5 picks next year. They start off with the defensive tackle Graham, which I thought was a great. I mean, you get somebody up the middle. Now you've got Garrett coming off the end. They go get the linebacker from LSU, the Schwezger, however you say his name. Who's going to be another run stuffer, but they can also drop back into coverage, right? Then you go get Junkin from Ohio State. You get you a running back. I love Junkin. I mean, and you get him in the 3rd. That's what's so good. You get him in the 3rd. But then you go draft the kid out of Tennessee. So your trade is a home run. Your first 3 picks are home runs. Then you go get another running back in the 5th. But are you gonna do like Detroit? Are you gonna have a 2 running backs and you still have Chubb? So you have 3 running backs now. I kind of felt like that was a wasted pick, but I don't think there was any more of a wasted pick than drafting Shedeur Sanders, who I really believe that it was a pity draft just to get him off the board, just to get the news off of him, because that's all it was talking about. We didn't talk about how Cam Ward was the first overall pick. We didn't talk about these other guys. It was all Shador's fallen. Like, respectfully, the only people that cared that Shador was fallen was the people in Colorado at Shador's house. Like, nobody cared that he was fallen. I'm glad we didn't get him. The later it got, I was like, man, that's a Jerry move. And once he finally went, like, I had a sigh of relief because I knew he wasn't coming to Dallas. And then another one for me. So I'm going to give Cleveland a C+, just because they draft 2 running backs, 2 quarterbacks. Their quarterback room is a chaotic mess now. Quarterback room of 5 people. Yeah. Another one, I think Miami. So Tua got lit up last year, all year long. I mean, he had 9 concussions, I think. I don't really know how many it was.
There was a lot.
But they go defensive tackle, offensive guard, defensive tackle. Why are we? To me, you need to protect the quarterback, like we were just talking about. You've got to protect your quarterback, and you get an offensive guard in the second. When there was that's it. I mean, there were prime people sitting right there to protect your guy, right? To protect, and one was a right tackle, like you were just talking about. The blind side, 2 was left-handed. You need to get a right tackle to protect your quarterback. And they didn't. I gave them an F. I think they dropped. I did. I mean, I think they dropped the ball.
I'm glad my boy Quinn got drafted. I hate he's in Miami, but I mean, I don't know if that's like a security blanket, because not that I mean I don't expect him to play, maybe never in Miami, but
he at least got drafted.
I was happy he got drafted. Yeah.
And then for me, this team I gave an F++ to. They really knocked it out. They really knocked it out of the park with this draft. And that's the Jacksonville Jaguars. You traded the 5th pick this year, and your first next year. So you gave up 2 top 5 picks for a player that will only play one side of the ball and be mediocre at best at one side of the ball, whichever side he plays. I'm telling you, his upside on defense is Richard Sherman, a cover 2 flat corner that has to have help over the top. You think about it. Richard Sherman, when he was in San Francisco, he was not good at all. You know why? He didn't have 2 Pro Bowl safeties on top of him in Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas. He was exposed in San Francisco because he's a cover 2 flat corner, no speed. That is Travis Hunter's upside to me. Offensively, he's not fixing to get the ball force fed to him like he did in Colorado. He's not going against 5'7" cornerbacks. He's going against 6'1", 6 Revel. He's a 6'2", 210 cornerback. He's bigger than Hunter is. I think Jacksonville completely set their franchise back. 2 back-to-back top 5 picks they got rid of for Hunter. Rookie coach, rookie GM might be the last year. It might be one and done. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Well, I want to talk about a couple of teams I thought did well. Green Bay. I thought Green Bay did really good this year. They get Matthew Golden the first. They give Love a weapon. Okay. Did not expect him to drop to 23. I thought he'd be taken sooner. But here we are. He ended up in Green Bay. And who was I telling that to the other night on our show with Brad? And
that's right.
I told him Matthew Golden. And guess what? He ends up in Green Bay. I know he's happy about that. Then they get the offensive tackle. Great pickup. Now you have someone to protect. If he plays that side, protects Love's blind side. Great pickup. Then they go get another receiver from TCU. Listen, ain't no quarterback in Green Bay history got the receivers drafted for them.
Yeah.
Green Bay they were going to make sure they were going to get him weapons because Green Bay is not a bad team. They were 11-6 this year. Okay. Then they get an
Shout
edge.
out to Byron Sorrell out of Texas.
That's a steal. For
That's
Green
a
Bay,
steal.
I'm telling you.
He was a first round grade. Do you know he was in the green room day 3?
Yes.
He was the only one there, and he got drafted by. And I thought that was perfect that he actually got to come out in front of his fans on day 3.
Yes, he. That's a steal for Green Bay. He's going to be so good for them on the edge. I love that pick up for them. And then they got a linebacker, another defensive tackle, a cornerback, and another offensive tackle. So I thought Green Bay did really well. I gave them a B plus. Well, actually, no, I gave them an A, like a straight A. They got all their needs. They drafted for every position that they needed to, as long as it pans out. And then another team that I thought did really well. I don't know how, but I thought the Giants had a good draft.
Yes.
They got Abdul Carter in the first. They get Jackson Dart, which I think is phenomenal for them because they needed another quarterback. You have Tommy DeVito. You have Russell. Is it Russell Wilson? He's there, right?
Yep. Jameis Winston.
And Jameis Winston. So you really have Dart there to groom him and one day taking that over because it'll be him. They did draft
Jackson
him.
Dart takes over halfway through the year. He'll take over from Wilson.
By that.
Yeah.
And again, I love this pick. I don't know how you feel, but them getting Cam Scatterboo, I thought was huge for them because I think they needed a running back. There's no question about that. I thought from getting him in the 4th was good for them. I'm curious to see how he does there. Again, it's the situation, right? So I thought that was okay. They got them. They got an offensive guard, so they got some offensive line help there. Then they got it tight end. Tight end, whatever. Then they got a cornerback. So I thought they did well as well. And then another team. This is the one I probably was really intrigued by the most. One
more team that I'm going to throw in there that I just looking at them. The New England Patriots hit a home run on their first 3 picks. They get Will Campbell, the offensive tackle, the left tackle, in the first. Then in the second, they go get Travion Henderson out of Ohio State. Then in the third, they go get Kyle Williamson, who is a stud wide receiver from Washington State. I don't know if you've watched any tape on him.
He played with Cam Ward.
He played with Cam Ward 2 years ago. He can flat out fly, and he's got great hands, and he's not scared to go across the middle. Yep. I think they hit a home. Like I said, them first 3 picks, those are day 1 starters for you under a new head coach. Oh crap, what's his name? Variable. I think he did a phenomenal job drafting.
I do. I see the Patriots to making a run for the playoffs next year. Not doing anything, but I'm talking about just making the playoffs. I do. Yeah, I thought they did well too. Another team here that I think did well was the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes.
So they get Tyler Warren, phenomenal. You need a security blanket.
Very Dallas Clark-like.
Very Dallas Clark-like. Then you get the edge out of Ohio State. Helps that defensive side. They get the corner from Minnesota, which was a really good pick for them. I thought they needed some cornerback help. Then they get the offensive tackle from Iowa State. And this one I was kind of skeptical about, but now when I look at it, I'm like, hey, who's the running back for them? The Colts now?
Jonathan Taylor.
He has moments. He's kind of slid the last couple of years. Maybe I don't know if there's injuries or there's offensive lines
he needs to change his scenery.
So they go out. They get DJ Giddings out of Kansas State. Not a bad pickup for them. That late.
Great pickup.
And then this is the one I liked the most. Was Riley Leonard. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you do not know what you're gonna get out of Anthony Richardson going into technically year 2, year 3, but year 2 because he was hurt the first year. I think Riley Leonard could end up being better than expected because as long as the Colts get better, I'm not sold on the situation for him, but I'm sold on what he can bring to a team if they build around him. And I was like skeptical, like why would they draft a quarterback? They're only year 2 technically in Anthony Richardson. That tells me they don't believe in him. There's no way you believe in him if you draft a quarterback. It doesn't matter if it's round 1 or round 7. It's a pick you have to pick with, right? So that's whatever. And then they draft a couple of defensive players, but I really liked what they did, and I loved what the Saints did with getting Tyler Stoll from Louisville. That's interesting. That's interesting for me. I'm curious if they're not sold on Derek Carr, or is it the injury thing, or because Stoll, people had Stoll number 1. There's people that had him as a number 1 quarterback. That could be a steal for them.
I'm curious to see if Derek Carr gets traded. And I'm going to tell you where I could see him going. I would give probably a second or a third, and I think it's going to happen week 4 to 6. Okay. Minnesota.
I would be surprised.
I think Minnesota is going to try J.J. McCarthy and see what they've got. If they don't like it, or if he's not ready, you trade for Derek Carr, who's a gunslinger, who can run an offense, they have a bunch of talent on that offensive side of the ball. Right? They're in a win now situation. I mean, look what they did last year with Sam Darnold. Nobody thought that was going to happen.
Nope. Nobody.
Derek Carr is an upgrade, not only from Darnold, but from J.J. McCarthy. Unless J.J. just comes out and is just like, blows you away.
Mm-hmm. But I still think if he's blowing you away, I still think you make that trade if I'm Minnesota.
Oh, I wouldn't give up any picks if he's blowing me away.
You wouldn't give up any picks?
No. I would. Okay. If JJ comes out and is blowing me away and is playing Sam Darnold like, I ride him out. But because if you're giving up a second or a third next year, I mean that's critical drafting. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with.
Hey, I want to tell you the steal of the undrafteds. There was one steal I thought that was the best of them all.
What you got? Don't say Shiloh to the Bucks.
Even better.
Uh-oh.
DJ Ugalele to the Chargers.
Yes, to the Chargers. Because Justin Herbert's not that good. Justin Herbert's not that good. The Chargers should trade him to Dallas. He's not that good.
Yeah, I mean, DJ, dude, I forgot first of all,
I thought he went back.
I mean, why not? Everybody else can go back and play for their 20th in a collegiate season.
I love the Omari and Hampton pick because I found out that the Najee Harris is only a 1-year deal.
Well, you got to think, though, Najee Harris has to prove he still could be that back. We've said it halfway through the year. It was time a change of scenery from him was due. And I love it that he's going there. I think that he can help them. I don't know if they –
That could be somebody in the mix for Dallas next year. You got Najee, you got Breece Hall, if I'm Dallas, depending on how the season's going, if we're right there, I mean, if we're I don't know, 7-3 or something like that, and I mean we're right there on the cusp of actually being a really good football team, I call the Colts and I see what they want for Jonathan Taylor. Just to see, because I think the weakest part of our team right now is the run game. Mm-hmm. But that's just kind of where I'm at.
I mean, again, I think Dallas has a lot of. For the most part, I like what they did. A couple of those picks were questioned. I questioned them. A lot of them I questioned in the beginning, and I started doing some digging, some research.
I was trying to sell it on you.
I wasn't sold on all of them. I don't agree with the last 3.
I agree with you on that. 100%.
The Phil Mafia thing may be okay because he's a bigger back. I like the bigger backs. I like the Derrick Henrys, the Saquon, but I like the bigger backs. That's why I'm saying if he makes the cut he may actually be really well for them. He could be using those 3rd and 2s, those 3rd and 4 situations, because you really want a bigger back unless you're throwing a toss out. If you're tossing the ball, then yeah, you want the Jaden Blues, because he's going to have top end speed. Like, it just depends on the situation. I think he fits what the Cowboys can do. But I thought the blue pick, I love the blue pick. Obviously, he's Texas. I'm big on Texas Longhorns. Anybody gets drafted and it comes to my team, I love it. I love when Connor Williams came there, when offensive guard back in the day, and he's not there no more. But I love that pick when they got him, and he was phenomenal when he was there. But yeah, the draft was awesome. I enjoyed the draft. Again, I came on there with Casey and his dad. We had a great time. I was only with them for about an hour, but it was phenomenal picks, man. I think Dallas overall they did good. I'm happier than I've been in the past with the draft, but I just, again, I'll say this: I just wish they would have picked every need and then did whatever they wanted to do in the undrafted signings, because that's going to happen. It's always going to happen. You're going to draft people. You're going to bring people on that didn't get drafted. But overall, it was a good draft, I think. Now we'll see what happens. These playoffs, NBA is getting real interesting. For a few teams. And I want to talk about this first because I think this is the biggest disappointing of them all. The Lakers are down 3-1 down, and they are done.
I freaking love it.
I'm upset about this because I had them going to the finals. I told y'all that. And honestly, I'm going to say this, and this is probably super surprising to say this, that I don't know how they lost today because I thought they were playing phenomenal. I just think it's the athleticism of Minnesota that's killing the Lakers, because the Lakers had great. Hachimura had 23 a day. LeBron had 27. Luka had 38. Austin Reeves had 17, and you still don't win.
It's Luka's defense.
I mean, and the defense is horrible. The defense is not good. It is. That's what I'm saying. The athleticism of Minnesota is killing the Lakers, and that's due to the Lakers not being able to defend them.
Because if you look at every other team's point guard, very seldom do, as soon as you cross half court, you run a pick with somebody, whoever Luka's guarding, they run a pick to get Luka matched up with Ant or DiVincenzo or somebody. So they want Luka guarding ball.
Yeah.
And the SGA is not doing that. They're not coming across half court, setting a pick on SGA to get him to switch to the ball.
Nope.
So yeah, Luka's defense is a liability, just like it was last year. I think that solidified this series. 3-1 down. I think the Lakers win at least one more, but I think that's it. I think that really sets up the Timberwolves to make a run to the conference finals. I think they can beat Houston or Golden State. And I will tell you this 100%. Spurs need to go get Naz Reid next year.
I'm telling you.
He's a big man that can shoot, and he can protect, and he can guard. He was guarding Luka a couple, like back-to-back possessions. He was guarding Luka. So he can guard the perimeter. This Boston-Orlando game is really good. I think it's a 4-point game, 6-point game with 2 minutes left.
The Knicks.
But the game I want to talk about, the Knicks, did you watch that?
I did not watch it. No.
100% was a foul on the three in the corner. Without question. The officials, like spokesperson, even came out and said there was contact on the last. So that went from a 2-2 series to a 3-1 series, and you can't change it. That's what sucks, is a massive call like that in the corner, and it doesn't get called, turns that from a 2-2 series to a 3-1 series, and that's a heartbreaker because the Pistons outplayed them in the fourth. The Pistons deserved a shot to at least tie the game.
Yeah, I completely agree. The Pistons have surprised me. I hate they're down 3-1 because with that being said, they will not win this series. They may win another game. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's happened before. I'm not saying it can't be done, but at this point in time, round one, when you're down 3-1, it is hard to come back. It's a hard task at hand when you know you need one more game. But I still like what the Pistons have done. They've competed every game, even that first game when they ended up getting blown out a little bit. They were up in the game. They've made this series looks worse because of the 3-1, but it's not. It's really could be. I mean, like you said, it should be a 2-2 in my opinion.
Right.
And we said if it went to 7, we had the Pistons. Like we both said, if they went to Game 7, give me the Detroit in New York to win the series. And I still stand by that. I don't think it's going to get to that point because I think it will be done in 5 or 6, depending on the Pistons. I hope they don't give up. I hope they don't give up and say, listen, guys, we've had a great year. We've turned this franchise from being the worst for a very long time to winning a playoff game in over 50 years. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean? Like they've done well. But it's just one of those things where we got to look at it and be real and just hope that they hold on, this TikTok thing is okay, there we go. We just hope that they don't give up. I don't start wanting to give up, man. Like, try to win this next game. Try to tie it up 3-3. Like, a team like that being so young and being so bad for so long, I hope JB Bickerstaff's like, guys, listen, we're down 3-1. We should be tied 2-2, but listen, it is what it is. Let's not give up. Let's go out here and win this next game at home and then go back to New York and try to win another game, which they have done. Is doable. And let's see if we can get this going. But see, for the Lakers, I don't feel that way. And I hate that because I really thought the Lakers had a chance to do something because their defense looked better. Surprisingly, they were one of the best defensive teams at one point after Luka got traded here. And it just showing that they just got the wrong matchup, man. They just got the wrong matchup. And then the Celtics are going to, I think they're about to win this game. They're up 7 now with 1:08 left. That's going to put them up 3-1. I'm interested about this Pacers-Bucks game.
That's tonight, isn't it?
It is. It is tonight, and I'm excited to see how that works out. Dude, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm looking at this TikTok thing. I think someone sent some roses and stuff to us. I'm not sure how this stuff works. I've never interacted with this, but I mean, appreciate everything going on TikTok. Everyone joining and it's from your mom's. I don't know who it was from, but we appreciate everything. I mean, we really do. But yeah, those games are tonight, and then let's see who. Oh, Cavaliers are up 3-0. I mean, the Heat.
That one's over. Yeah,
over. Obviously, the Thunder closed it out. Did you see the end of that Clippers and Nuggets game? How they won?
Yes.
Is that not, dude?
Yes.
I mean, well, we said this that this was going to be the best series, and it's not failing us by any means.
No. It's been perfect.
This will be a 7-game series.
That's going to hurt both teams. It's going to hurt whoever wins that series, but it's also going to hurt Oklahoma City. Because Oklahoma, that's a long break. That's a week and a half of sitting and waiting.
I'll tell you what, and I said this in the group chat, I'm worried about SGA, man. He's not been consistent. He was not consistent in the first round. Yes, he's putting up points, but he's shooting 10 for 28, 13 for 26. Like he's I mean, 50% is not bad, but 10 for 28, that's not good. Like, but the good thing is he does have other players around him that can
carry that load.
Kind of carry the load, which makes him even scarier. Then you have the Warriors without Jimmy Butler. They're up 2-1. That's great for them. They won a game without Jimmy Butler, and that's huge for them against that young, fast-paced Rockets team.
I'm telling you right now, the more games Steph wins without help, the
better it is for them.
Well, not only that, for his legacy, it slowly, for me, passes LeBron. I'm sorry. Steph's last championship that he won against the Boston team when he didn't have Clay, and he didn't have Kevin Durant, he shows that he can lead a team. He had Draymond.
Yeah.
He had Draymond Green was his best other player, I guess you would say.
Yeah. I agree, man. I completely agree.
But
I love it, man. So the playoffs have been basketball players have not the playoffs have not disappointing. The only disappointing one to me was the Lakers because I thought that they would beat the Timberwolves. I thought it'd be a 7-game series. I'm going to give my respect to the Timberwolves. I might have said 6 or 5. I can't remember, but I'm impressed by them because Anthony Edwards. I think having Karl Anthony Towns there, almost like he had to share the team because he was there first, right? So with him leaving, it's his team. He's controlling that team. It's running through him, and not just through him and Karl Anthony Towns. And you're seeing that Anthony Edwards is a superstar. I don't care what no one says.
100%.
He is so good. He's a great shooter, great defender. I mean, he's smart. He's athletic. I mean, he's everything you want in a shooting guard / point guard type player. I mean, he could play both. I think he plays primarily the shooting guard because you do have Mike Conley there.
And DiVincenzo.
And DiVincenzo. He can be huge for them. So, man, I mean, again, we're looking at it. I'm pulling up the bracket. So, yeah, the Nuggets or the Thunder are waiting. The Rockets and Warriors, again, I mean, that series there, I still think can go either way. I like where the Warriors are right now. I picked them to win that series. When are they getting Jimmy Butler back? Do they win another game and see if they can get another one on the road? And
I'll tell you something that I wish that they would do. I wish the NBA would do what the NFL does. The next round, it goes you go by seeds. So, like, say if the Warriors beat Houston, the Warriors as a 7 seed, unless the 8 seed, the Warriors would go play Oklahoma City. The top seed gets the worst remaining team. And I like that. I like that.
Yeah, they yeah, I mean, who do you think? Do you think the Bucks can pull it out tonight? You think they can?
I think the Bucks have to. I'm telling you, if the Bucks lose in round 1, Giannis will ask out this summer.
Yeah, I mean, we've agreed on that, but I think the Bucks in this series, they've got to win this one at home.
Yes.
If you go down 3-1 to Indiana and back playing in Indiana next game, you're not going to – I don't think you win that game.
No. Fieldhouse will be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be insane. So with that, that's I think that's where we are in the playoffs. Again, I think it's been great. I mean, yeah, I think we're going to have a couple sweeps. Couple early exits where really the Lakers be the only disappointing one. I think you may have picked them to lose that, but I know I picked them to win that series. Or maybe you did pick them, but maybe in 7, I can't remember what we picked. But yeah, playoffs are going strong. The NHL playoffs, man, those are going strong too. I'm sad Dallas
hanging
in there, but it's I believe it's tied back up. But even with Winnipeg, they're tied with the Blues now 2-2. So both those series, I mean, the winners of those two would play each other. So those series are going good. Capitals are up 3-1. Hurricanes are up 3-1. The Kings the game's about to start. They're up 2-1. So they're looking to climb that and go up 3-1. Let's see. You got the Golden Knights and the Wild. Sorry, tied at 2-2. That's kind of a little surprise to me.
I think you picked them to run, didn't you?
I thought I picked them to win it all.
Yeah.
So you got that one tied up at 2-2. Maple Leafs is up on Senators 3-1. The Florida Lightning are up 2-1 on the Panthers are up on the Lightning 3-1 or 2-1. And again, the Capitals are up 3-1, and then Hurricanes are up 3-1. So that's going on as well. And that's been, I keep telling myself I'm going to watch a game and something happens and I don't watch it. I need to catch a game. I really want to watch Dallas play. I'm going to try to catch that tomorrow if I can. I think they play tomorrow. Yeah, they play tomorrow because they don't play tonight. They played last night. Derek, what we got coming on soon, man? We have Wednesday. Do we have anybody coming on Wednesday?
No, I think we're free for the next couple of shows. I reached out to the two guys that were looking to get drafted. The one guy said he's in talks with two teams, both East Coast teams. The other guy, I believe, is working on getting signed as we speak. I talked to his dad today. But once all of it's final, they're going to put it out. And then I'll double back with them. One was the punter. The other one was the starting safety for Oregon this year. He's from Paris, Texas, so another Texas kid. And then, we've got some stuff kind of working in the future for just the network in general. We've got an interview this Saturday morning. And then, I don't know if you've looked, but I've spoken with about 4 other podcasts about potentially growing, and which is good for us, which is good for the brand, which is good for everything. So I'm excited about kind of where we're going and possibly what it's going to look like here in the next, I would say, month. Might see some things that have changed, but we'll definitely keep everybody posted and definitely go from there.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Right before we hop off, I do want to say one thing, and I'm not going to call it a hot take, but it's about Shedeur Sanders and about the slide. So, I don't remember who said it, but I think it was perfect. The reason that the slide happened was because the NFL is a business. Okay? The NFL is not college where the players think they control everything and they can transfer when they want to. They can demand all this money and they can. You have to realize the NFL is a business. The owners own the teams with their own money. Like, this isn't boosters putting money in. This isn't your tuition paying this stuff. These are billionaires that have put their own money and their own time and their everything in it themselves. So you're not going to come in here, and I know people want to bring up the Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers trade. Well, that was perfect for both teams, right? They still got drafted, and then they were traded. Nobody wanted Shedeur. Nobody wanted Shedeur as the face of their franchise because of how he acts. It's just like, I don't want to go, if I own a McDonald's or I own a Chick-fil-A or I own a whatever, I don't want to hire somebody to work the counter that's got 72 tattoos on their face and 5 piercings. That's not what I want my brand to look like. That's not what I want. I mean, just the same with us. I mean, if I was all tatted up on my face and I had blackout in my eyeballs, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to do a show with me because that's not the brand you're trying to put out. And that's just, that's why we talk. We interview people before we bring them on. We talk to them before we bring them on because we want to make sure that the brand is represented. Shedeur did not represent the brand of the NFL. No, I mean, I'm sorry. And I said this in the chat. The mouth full of diamonds. Nope. That's not my franchise quarterback. That's not what I look for in a franchise quarterback. Somebody that I'm handing the keys to a $1 billion franchise and saying, here, take us to the promised land. Just not it. That's not it. And if you go back, he interviews, how many times was when they played Nebraska and they lost? You know what they said? What happened out there? His first response was, well, how many times was Raiola sacked? How many passes did they drop? Already blaming your line. You're blaming. I mean, that's my take on it. The kids need to understand that the owners of the teams run it, right? I mean, like I said, this is a business. This is a business model. This is how it's been. Just because college changed, the NFL is not going to change for you.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't think he dropped because of whether it's his talent, the upside, whatever. I think it was because of everything else, the hippity holler, the everything. It's the look. That's why he dropped. Now people are going to be like, well, what about Travis? He went second. Well, that's the Jaguars' decision. It's a decision thing for that. That franchise thought he was worthy of that trade and that pick. That's their choice. Not many people thought of that because of. I will say this: I did not hear Travis Hunter come out and say, "I don't want to play here and here." Never heard him say that, and I could be wrong. Okay,
I didn't either.
the only thing I ever heard him say was, "I want to play both ways," and he said, "If you do not want me to play both ways, don't draft me." Okay, that's his choice if you come out and say that. But the opposite was with Shador. He's like, "I'm not playing here. I'm not playing here. I'm not playing here. I'm not playing here." Well, guess what? That's not your choice. Like, this is not your choice. Like, yes, is he talented? Yes. Like, you can't say he's not talented, but you gotta again stop doing a bunch of this and let everything the gameplay speak for itself. And if I think he did that, I guarantee he would have been picked sooner. I guarantee that just because it didn't look good with how it went. And do I blame his dad a little bit for that? I do. I do blame Dion for some of that.
Agreed.
I do. I
mean, because he said, there's a post that got put out. He said, I really like what Cleveland has done this offseason. But he said, if I'm a young quarterback, there's no way I go there.
Can't say that stuff, man.
I mean,
but again, and here, if I'm Shador, you can't be upset when you get picked. Whether it's round 1, 5, 7, 10. I know there's not 10 rounds, but I'm just saying you can't be mad because some of the best quarterbacks ever play the game were picked in the 7th round.
That's right.
So
and another thing, and this is I'll end on this. I know we're getting kind of close on time, but Shiloh fired his dad, quote unquote, as his agent. Did you know that?
I mean, it's a good decision.
Within the hour, no joke. Within the hour, he had hired Brian, was it Rosenhauser or whatever his name is? You know who I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
He hired him and was signed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Within the hour of telling his dad, "You're not responsible for me no more," he signed an agent and was signed. Yeah, Dion, you don't run nothing. Like your job is the head coach at Colorado, LeVar Ball. You're not the NFL agent.
Yeah, and I'm assuming he's Shador's agent. I'm assuming.
I would guess. I don't know that, but and again, not dogging Dion. Like I said, I like Dion. I like Dion as a player. I like Dion as a person, but he is not. There's only 2 places I'm gonna let my boys go. Well, and Shiloh. That's what he said. He said there's 2 places I'm gonna let my boys go, and Shiloh. Travis is not your kid. You coached him. He's not your kid. He's not your responsibility. You don't dictate what he might have wanted to go to Jacksonville. He might have wanted to go to Cleveland.
He seemed excited to go to Jacksonville.
That's what I'm saying. But again, that's why Jacksonville's picking top 5 every year because they don't make good draft picks. And
they're not very good.
No, they're not very good. But
yeah, I wanted to make that clear too. Is I like Shador. I liked his game. I thought he played well. But I think it's everything else that set him back. It's not his gameplay. Will he have a chip on his shoulder? Well, of course he will. But guess what? He has to compete with Dylan Gabriel now, and they both got to compete with Joe Flacco. And I don't care what you say, Joe Flacco will still play.
And Deshaun Watson.
Well,
I think if Deshaun Watson is healthy and would just play football, he's really good. He's really good.
But he can't do it. He hadn't done it.
He hadn't done. Yes, I agree. So as far as Shador and the chip on his shoulder, it'll just weigh him down on the end of the bench because that's where he's going to be.
Yeah.
But all right, man.
Well, listen, we appreciate everybody interacting with us. We appreciate Collin coming on. We appreciate that. That was so fun. Like I said, me and Derek have been into the golf stuff lately, so that was a lot of fun having him on and talking some golf. And I'd love to I hope we get the chance to play with him and hear some more stories. I mean, golf is something we are getting into on the show and playing. We enjoy playing.
Trying to get into it in real life a little bit.
Yeah, trying to get into it real life. Like I said, I had a blast playing it yesterday, even though I was terrible. It was a lot of fun. We'll be back on Wednesday, of course, at 7 p.m. Central.
8.
But I always forget that. Why do I always get that mixed up? It's 7 on. I do it every week.
Yeah, 7 on Sundays, 8 on Wednesdays.
8 on Wednesdays, and then don't forget, On Time Sports is on
Thursdays.
On Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, and then Sorry in Advance is on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Central. So don't forget to check those guys out and follow them on all socials as well. And then, like I said, Derek's working on some stuff, and we have a second interview with the podcast Saturday. So we're excited about that to kind of see where things go with them. And then who knows what happens next. Derek found a golf person pretty quickly to come on. I was like, dude, we got to get a golfer on, and he found him. So that was pretty fun. Local guy too. I wanted to ask you, Derek, before we get off, have you heard back? Oh yeah, you did. We talked about the Canadian baseball player. He's going through a little training.
He's doing a clinic in Canada.
That's right.
For 2 weeks.
That's right.
And then we're gonna if he gets a free Wednesday or Sunday in the 2 weeks, he's gonna message me, and so it might be like he messages me at 2:00 on a Sunday, and we have him on that night if we don't have nothing going on. So,
Perfect.
But as soon as we can get him, we're gonna get him on.
Awesome. Well, great stuff, guys. Again, keep following us, keep interacting with us. Don't forget, we do have our Tired Sports page. We also have our Tired Sports community page. If you want to interact and post stuff in that, please follow that page as well, as long as our main pages. Let me see. I do not have the new one on here. I need to get that on here. The new QR code on here. I do not have it. But yeah. So again, appreciate everybody. We'll see y'all Wednesday, and until then, y'all continue watching these. NBA playoffs are going on, so a lot of fun there. Baseball, hockey, everything.
Everything. That's right. Everything.
Now, I do want to say something to our good friends that we don't mention a lot of other people, but I want to mention the Sports Nuts. They have a big show coming up Saturday. I didn't tell Brandon I was doing this, but guys, they have a big live show on Saturday that they are having their 100th episode, which I think is awesome for anyone doing this.
Yes.
They're doing a live show.
Where we're at. I know we talked about it. I'm curious. I think I'm going to go back when I get time. I'm going to go back and see where we're at.
Yeah, so they're doing a big live show. I want to pull. Hold on. I want to pull somewhere because I do want to shout them out. Brandon's in here almost every show. He's a really good friend of ours, and we really enjoy talking with him when we have the chance. And I got to go to their page. Hold on. Okay. Oh, here we go. Perfect. So yeah, they will be live on this Saturday at, where is it at? I just seen it. It's at a place and over there near them and where they live. I said they're doing a big live show on Saturday. They're doing a bunch of giveaways and stuff. So yeah, if you don't follow the Sports Nuts on Facebook and Twitter and all that, go follow them. They're great people. Derek, I want to even talk to you about it, and I'll say now, I told them we'd love to have them on one time just to chat with them and stuff. There's 4 of them, so it'd be a big show, which would be fun. I love having 6 different opinions on things, but I'd love it. I told Brandon and him after this episode Saturday, they take a couple weeks off to they do season things. So he said after their little break, they'll get with us, and we'll figure something out with them. I'd love to have them on.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. Well, everyone, have a good evening. We'll see y'all Wednesday. And
see you Wednesday.
Have a good week.
Later, buddy.